So I first want to talk through your performance final, and then we'll actually go through the review. So your performance final, you should have looked over it on Friday. Remember, you can have up to one partner. You can work by yourself or have one partner. No, you cannot make a group of 3. So you're planning a Halloween, or if you don't celebrate Halloween, a fall themed dinner. Okay. You're going to make a copy of each of these little hyperlinks. That's these blue things. So you're going to click on them and then make sure that you make a copy. So you're going to hit File, Make a Copy. Does that make sense? Okay. If you try to edit this, it's not going to work. Okay. So make sure that you make a copy first. Okay. So step 1, you're going to find your partner or work by yourself. If your partner is absent, you still need to work on it that day. Okay. So if your partner is going to go out of town this week, probably don't pick them. Okay. You're going to have 3 days to work on this. Today is day 1. Okay. So make sure that you choose wisely. This is going to be due on Thursday. This Thursday. Okay. All right. So you're going to collaborate to plan a menu of what dishes you'll bring to the Halloween/fall theme. You're going to make 6 dishes. This is going to include drinks that are school appropriate, appetizers, main dishes, sides, and desserts. You're going to find recipes for the 6 items that you're going to make and complete the recipe. So I would look up some appetizer, another appetizer, 3 main dishes, and a dessert. Okay, if appetizer, you want to do a drink instead, that's okay. But it cannot be soda. Does that make sense? Like, needs to be like fruit punch of some sort that you have to make. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like this weekend, me and the girls made frog's breath, and it was basically green fruit punch with like a sugar rim, and it had like a little jelly little frog. It's from Nightmare Before Christmas. So, okay, first of all, it was cute. So, all right, recipe report. This is where you're going to tell me how much things cost. You're doing it for 10 people. Okay, so when you do your total cost, you're going to divide it by 10, and that gets your cost per person. Make sense? You're doing this for all of your items. Notice how there's tabs down here at the bottom? I gave you 10, you only need 6. That might, you only need 6 items. Okay? All right. $500 is your budget. $500 is your budget. You do not have to spend 500. You cannot spend more than 500. Right. Okay? All right. So you're going to list the ingredients, the grocery store, where you got it from. So Walmart, Kroger, whatever. Okay. The price, the total cost, and then the cost per person. Okay. Once you've done your expense report, you're going to compile this information into a budget spreadsheet. Okay. This doesn't take long if you decide what you are trying to make early on. Okay. But if you try to change it last minute, that's where it gets kind of pricey. Okay. All right. So you need to make sure that you come up with your menu. You're going to submit that to me. A copy of each recipe on the menu, the recipe expense report, the Halloween fall themed budget, and you're going to answer these reflection questions as well. This is where you tell me if your group members sucked or not. Okay? Don't come complaining to me. Okay? Put it here. Okay? Everybody will submit this one. You can submit as a group the rest of it. Okay? So everybody submits the last thing. A through D, you can submit as one team. Just make sure your partner's name is on it. Okay? Questions? Okay. We're going to work on this today after we review, Wednesday, and then Thursday. Thursday afternoon, it'll be due. What's up? You need access. Oh, okay. I got you. Thank you for checking that. Okay. Questions on that? I'll fix that momentarily. You're not going to put this on the Google slide. This is separate from Unit 4.5 project. Mm-hmm. So you'll put, no, you'll send me the link. So if you're going to do links of all of your recipes, you're going to submit it on this document. right here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So I would suggest looking around, seeing who you want to work with. If you don't have their phone number, maybe get their phone number because you might need to do a little bit of work outside of class. If you want to work by yourself, totally fine too. Okay. So go ahead and take a moment. Okay. So let's talk about it. Jordan and Taylor are considering buying a house. Jordan has received a small inheritance in which they can use for a down payment. Use the following information to answer the following question. So Jordan makes $58,700 a year, and Taylor makes $46,500. What is their combined income for the year? Okay, so how do you get that? Okay, you add those two together, right? Fair enough. Now, if I'm trying to find the monthly, what am I going to do? Divide by 12, and then you should have gotten 8766.67. Okay. All right, Jordan and Taylor have 2,200 saved, and Jordan's inheritance is 12,300 for a total of that they can use for a down payment. Taylor has a monthly car payment of 310, and Jordan has a 220 per month student loan payment. Their average monthly credit card balance is 380. The house that they want to buy is 220,000. All right, so everybody good so far? Okay. All right, number one, houses in Georgia are assessed at 40% of the market value. Jordan and Taylor will receive a $10,000 homestead exemption, and millage rate is $35.36. So their property tax. How do we find property tax? Okay. Okay, so, right, it's the formula. Dad. Minus property rate taxable. Okay, so what else did you forget on there? How much are we going to subtract off of the total payment? Okay, so we're going to take 220,000. We're going to subtract that 14,500, right? What do you get when you do that? Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. So we're going to take 220,000 and we're going to multiply it by 0.4. What do you get? 220,000, we're going to multiply by 0.4. 88,000. Okay. Then we're going to subtract your homestead exemption. So we're going to subtract 10,000. And that's going to give us 78,000. Now what do we do? So we divide it by 1,000 and then we multiply that by 35.36. So 78,000 divided by 1,000, and we're going to multiply by 35.36. And that's going to give us 2,758.08. And if we wanted to find that monthly, we're going to divide by 12. So that's going to be 229.84. Okay, so for my visual people, here is our formula for property tax. Property value times the assessment rate minus the exemptions, divide by 1,000, multiply by the millage rate. Yes, you will get this on the test. Yep, it's right here. Yep. Okay. Number two, the closing cost will be 3.5% of the cost of the house. Jordan and Taylor will pay half of the closing costs. How much will Jordan and Taylor pay for the closing costs? What's half of 3.5? 1.75. Okay. So we're going to take 220,000 and we're going to multiply by 0.0175. So how much money will that be? Good. Okay. All right, what about the next one? Number 3, it says including the closing costs, but not including the down payment. What will be the principal that Jordan and Taylor will have to finance? So what is that asking you for? Okay, so total closing costs plus the principal amount. How much is the principal amount? But not including the down payment. So what are we going to do? $14,500. Okay, so we take 220,000 minus 14,500. That gives us 205,500. And then we need to add closing costs, right? So we add 3,850. So we're going to add the closing cost, which is 3,850. And that's going to give me 209,350. Okay, so what they're asking you to do is figure out how much you have to finance. So the house costs 220,000, right? When you make that down payment, you're not taking out that money to borrow anymore. Does that make sense? What's up, Ben? That was the down payment. Remember up at the top where Jordan saved a bunch and so did Taylor? Yeah. So if you're trying to figure out your principal amount, your starting principal, then you're going to take how much the house costs minus your down payment plus the closing costs. Right, not including the down. So we're taking out that down payment because you're not going to finance your down payment. That's the money that you're already paying, right? Good. Okay. Number 4, Jordan and Taylor have 2 options for financing, a 15-year fixed mortgage and a 5.5% or a 30-year mortgage at 6.7%. So what you need to do is you've got to use that formula, right? I want you to take a second, go ahead and take out Desmos and go ahead and calculate the monthly payment for both. A lot of y'all made mistakes on this because you didn't round correctly or you didn't plug it in the formula correctly. Check your work. That's all I got. Total paid over 15 years? You put 15 for T instead of 30?
Times 12 times 15.
1710.56 times 15 times 12. 900.8. Okay. Okay, pause. Faster. Yeah. Uh-huh. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, and on this one, it should be 0.4. This should probably also be 0.4. Okay. Again, I didn't do this. Somebody else key. Not my fault. All right. ahead and flip the page. Once we're done. Okay, what is a benefit of a 15-year mortgage? You own the house faster. What about 30? Lighter payments, like smaller payments, right? And they're like $900 difference, like pretty big. All right, Jordan and Taylor choose a 15-year mortgage. Their homeowners insurance will be $85 a month and mortgage insurance will be $135. What's their front to end ratio? So mortgage to income. So how much is our mortgage going to be? They're doing the 15-year. So what do we do for 15-year? Look at back. So we got, okay, so 1710.56. We pulled that from the previous page. Okay, how much is their monthly income together? That was on the previous page too. There you go. So their monthly income is 8,766.67. Now your ratio is you're going to put one over the other. So we're doing mortgage over your income. Okay. So should we include this stuff? Mortgage insurance and homeowners insurance. Where does that go? Where does that go? Do we have to make that every month? Yes. So we're going to add that $85 a month and that $135 to the $1,710. This is how much the house is. This is to how much it is to insure. Okay. So that's going to give me 2160.40. Yep. I added this to the 85 plus 135. What'd you get? Y'all are yelling with your logic. Calm down. Okay. So plus 85 plus 135. 1930? Is there something that we're leaving off? How much was the property tax? Nope, we got to do it monthly. 229.84. Does that give you 2,160? Yes. So don't forget about your property tax. Make sense? Okay. Now you're going to divide these two. So 2160.40 divided by 8766.67. And you're going to multiply that by 100. And that's going to give me a 24.6%. Good. Okay, majority of you probably have not looked at 7 and 8, right? Okay, let me give you like 5 minutes to look that over, and then we'll go over it. Okay, who got the debt amount? Yep. Okay. Who got the income? The same one as last time, 8,766.67. And then your ratio was? Okay. All right, so would they approve them for this loan? Why is the ratio 35.0%? Yeah. Yeah. Charles, catch. Yeah. You were fine. It was like a foot behind you. All right. No. Okay. Okay. Jordan and Taylor choose the 15-year mortgage. What was the monthly payment? Yeah. Okay. So 1710.56. Their first payment will pay how much towards their interest? So how much was their total principal amount. 209,000. Okay. And their monthly payment is 1710.56. How much, like, how do we figure out what total interest is?
Rate, interest rate, and divided by
Okay, so what is interest rate?
5.9.
5.5. Where did we get that from? From the last page, it said 5.5%. So to get our interest from our monthly payment, what we're going to do is we're going to take this amount, multiply it times 0.055, and then divide it by 12. Did I lose anybody?
No.
Okay, so that should be 959.52. Good. Okay, so when you make your monthly payment, some of it goes to your principal and some of it goes to your interest. We just figured out how much the interest was. To figure out how much goes to the principal monthly payment, we're going to take this guy and subtract him. 1710.56 minus 959.52. What does that give me? 751.04. So now we find the new principal payment, which is, we're going to take our old and subtract 751.04. And that's going to give me 208,000. I'll fill in these blanks for you. 208,598.96. This will be 959.52. This will be 751.04. And will the next payment pay a lower or higher amount towards the principal? Higher. We're going to pay more principal as we go along. Interest rate is going to lower.